yesterday, we talked about invisible light. What are let's start with visible light. What is visible light? What is visible light? Lexi.
Something that you can see.
It's light that we can see. So we also talked about some examples of invisible light. What are some of the invisible lights that we talked about? Claire, what's one of them? We have that ultraviolet. It's when those wavelengths are very short, right? They're very short. Grayson, what's another one? Infrared. Infrared is when those wavelengths are really far apart from each other. What's another one we talked about? We have those X-ray ones as well. So it's going to be that light that they use to take the X-rays as well. So we have, I lost our image cards, but we talked about it. Turn and tell your neighbor, what is the purpose of X-ray light? Why do we use that light? Three, two, one. How do we use X-ray? Joey.
We use them to see like the bones.
Fabulous. That X-ray light, it's going to travel through the part of your body they're checking out, and it's invisible. We can't see it, but it's going to take a picture on a special piece of paper. And Joey's right. We're checking out those bones, right? We're seeing how they're, or anything. It doesn't have to be bones. It helps you look inside an object because that light we know slows down when it hits different densities. And so it is able to take that picture. How does light travel? Show me. Oh, some of you've got it. It travels in waves. Fabulous. But we know it's got that straight too. So how are light waves measured? Remember we talked about the measurement of light waves? We can pull out our picture again. How are light waves measured when we think about these? Cooper, how are light waves measured?
By wavelengths.
And when we say that it's measured by wavelengths, what are we checking?
The waves.
Well, what part of the waves? Where are we going to measure that wavelength at? Because we say far apart and close together, but when we were talking about that and we're talking about the distance apart, what are we measuring? Viola, help them out a little bit. Nope, they're all going to be about the same. It's a little bit different there, Brock. Not how long and short they are. They're all about the same. Yep.
How wide and how skinny they look?
Kind of. We're measuring, remember, when we talk about wavelengths, it's from peak to peak. So when we say peak to peak, we're saying the top of it to the top of the next one. The top of one to the top of the next one. The top of one to the top of the next one. And that's where you're going to see that light. Today, I am wearing what color shirt?
Green.
Yesterday, I had on a red dress, and we talked about why things look the color they look. So today, why does my sweater look green? What is happening? What is happening to make my sweater look green? Turn and talk with your neighbor about it.
No, I have
3, 2, 1. So to make a color look the way it is, what's happening to that light? Kyler.
Like the color of the shirt.
So to make my shirt green, what's happening?
All of the colors but green are coming onto the shirt.
And what do we call that? He said it's coming on. What's that word that we've been using? Absorb. So all the colors except for green are absorbed. So then what happens to green?
It bounces off the front.
It's reflected. Very good. So in order to make something look the color it is, all the other colors are absorbing, and that color is reflecting off. Very good. Fabulous. So turn and tell your neighbor, in order to make your shirt the color it is, what's absorbing, and what's reflecting. Turn and tell your neighbor. Yes, you can go that one. Three, two, one. So I want you to imagine you're in a really dark room. Can you see color? Is it possible to see color?
No. No.
Why not? Griffin, why not?
Because without light, you can't see anything. Like, you could trip and everything.
Without light, can you see color?
No.
No, color is because of that light absorbing and reflecting. So without light, you can't see color. Fabulous. Today, I want to talk about the word spectrum. In our reading today, we heard that a rainbow is a perfect spectrum of colors. Let me pull out one of our image cards. What do we have?
A rainbow.
A rainbow. Remember, a rainbow is a perfect spectrum of color. This image shows that the spectrum of colors are produced when white light passes through raindrops in the atmosphere. So we read about that. White light's passing through the raindrops in the atmosphere, and those raindrops act as a... Haley?
A prism.
Yep, there's raindrops are acting as a prism, and it's going to be shining out those different colors. A spectrum is a series or a range of objects. So in this one, our spectrum, our range of objects, what is it? What are we looking at? It's a range of colors, right? So a spectrum is going to be a series or a range of things. Today we're thinking about colors when we think about the spectrum of rainbows. So I'm going to give you a sentence. Max could see the entire spectrum of colors after the light went through his prism. And he noticed that the colors were in the same arrangement as the rainbow he has always seen in the sky after a thunderstorm. Have you guys ever seen a spectrum of colors before?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday with our 2 experiments, right?
Yes.
When else have you, turn and tell your neighbor, when else have you seen a spectrum of colors? Three, two, one. Remember, a spectrum of something is going to be a range of it, a wide range of it. So I'm going to give you some examples of things, and I want you to put it in your brain, and we'll say it all together of this is a spectrum or this is not a spectrum. Okay, so put it in your brain first, and we'll say this is a spectrum or this is not a spectrum altogether. So only the colors red and blue.
This is not a spectrum.
Let's try it together. Only the colors red and blue.
This is not a spectrum.
Nope. Only the colors red and blue.
This is not a spectrum.
Much better. This is not a spectrum. All of the colors of the rainbow.
This is a spectrum.
This is a spectrum. Good job. The colors that are created when white light is refracted by a prism.
This is a spectrum.
This is a spectrum. Remember, when white light is refracted by a prism, what do we get?
Rainbow.
Rainbows. Very good. Only the color green.
This is not a spectrum.
Invisible X-ray light.
That is not a spectrum.
Not a spectrum. That's one specific type. Very good. Nice job with that today, guys.